The maintenance bay of the Celestial Harmony hummed with the usual symphony of mechanical whispers and distant thruster calibrations. Anaya stood before her workstation, 8 of her 4 delicate manipulator arms working in perfect synchronization as she cataloged the day's sensor readings. Her bioluminescent skin flickered pale blue, a sign of contentment among her species, the Valari. She had been assigned to the human section of the ship 3 cycles ago, a prestigious posting that most of her kind coveted. Humans were fascinating creatures, though their reputation across the galactic community remained complicated. The cleaning bot, a spherical unit designated MX-7, rolled past her station, its sensors sweeping the deck with methodical precision. Anaya watched it approach the command console where Ethan worked. His broad back hunched over a holographic display showing gravitational wave patterns. MX-7 bumped against the console's base, emitting a soft chime of frustration. It reversed, adjusted its angle, and tried again. The gap beneath the console was exactly 4.2 centimeters. MX-7 required 4.5 centimeters minimum clearance. "Obstruction detected," the bot announced in its pleasant, neutered voice. "Unable to complete cleaning protocol. Requesting assistance." Anaya's skin flickered orange with concern. She began to move toward the maintenance panel, already calculating which tools she would need to properly elevate the console. The regulations were clear. Structural furniture required a 3-person team, proper lifting harnesses, and a minimum of 15 minutes for safe repositioning. "I got it," Ethan said, not looking up from his work. Before Anaya could protest, before she could even process what he intended, Ethan reached down with his left hand, just one hand, and lifted the entire command console off the deck. Anaya's skin flashed white with shock. The console was a standard-issue T-class workstation constructed from reinforced titanium alloy and equipped with 3 dedicated processing cores, a full holographic suite, and enough shielding to survive a direct hit from solar radiation. According to her precise knowledge of ship specifications, it weighed approximately 187 kilograms. Ethan held it aloft, with the casual ease of someone picking up a data pad. His right hand never stopped moving across the holographic display, fingers dancing through complex equations as if nothing unusual was happening. The muscles in his left arm barely flexed. "Go ahead, buddy," Ethan said to the cleaning bot. MX-7 rolled underneath the suspended console, its brushes whirring with mechanical satisfaction as it cleaned the accumulated dust and debris from 3 cycles of neglect. The bot worked for precisely 43 seconds. "Cleaning complete. Thank you for your cooperation," MX-7 chirped, then rolled away to continue its rounds. Ethan lowered the console back to its original position with the same effortless grace, the heavy furniture settling with a soft thunk against the deck. He returned his attention fully to his work, muttering something about inconsistent gravitational coefficients under his breath. Anaya's skin cycled through colors she didn't have names for. Her translator implant struggled to find words in Standard Galactic. "You?" she began, her vocalization harmonics warbling with confusion. "You just... How?" Ethan glanced over his shoulder, his brown eyes reflecting genuine puzzlement. "How what?" "The console. You lifted the console, with one appendage, while performing cognitive tasks with your other appendage." He shrugged, a peculiarly human gesture that Anaya had learned meant anything from indifference to profound philosophical acceptance. "It wasn't that heavy. The bot needed to clean." "Not that heavy?" Anaya's skin flared crimson, anger mixed with disbelief. "That console mass is 187 kilograms. My entire species cannot collectively lift such weight without mechanical assistance. The regulations require—" "Yeah, I know," Ethan interrupted, still focused on his holographic display. 3-person team, harnesses, the whole protocol. but that would have taken like 20 minutes, and I'm in the middle of tracking this weird gravity spike near the Horsehead Nebula. Seemed easier to just, move it. Easier. He said easier. Anaya had read the files on humans, of course. Every species serving aboard mixed crew vessels received briefings on their crewmates. She knew humans came from a death world, a planet with crushing gravity, extreme temperature variations, and an atmosphere that would dissolve the lungs of most civilized species. She knew they were classified as persistence predators, whatever that meant. She knew they had survived their own apocalypses, plural, and had somehow turned their violent history into a strange kind of wisdom. But reading data and witnessing reality were entirely different experiences. "Your planet's gravity," Anaya said slowly, her skin settling into a questioning purple. "It's 9.8 meters per second squared, correct?" "Sounds right," Ethan confirmed. "The celestial harmony maintains artificial gravity at 6.2 meters per second squared, the galactic standard. You've been operating at approximately 63% of your natural gravity since you boarded." "Huh." Ethan scratched his jaw. "That would explain why everything feels so light. I thought you guys just built your furniture weird." Everything feels so light. Anaya's mind reeled. She had been struggling with the oppressive gravity aboard human vessels during her training, feeling like her limbs were being pulled toward the deck with every movement. And to Ethan, the environment he worked in every day felt light. "The station's emergency protocols," Anaya said, a sudden realization dawning. "They include provisions for humans to manually override door mechanisms in case of power failure. I thought it was an error in the translation." "Nope, not an error. We can do that. You can manually override hydraulic doors designed to withstand explosive decompression." "If we have to, yeah." Anaya's skin flickered through the entire spectrum, finally settling on a pale, shocked yellow. She thought about the combat scenarios she'd studied, the reports from the frontier worlds, humans in light armor, moving with impossible speed, humans carrying wounded crewmates across hostile terrain, humans who simply refused to die when any reasonable species would have succumbed. The cleaning bot continued its rounds, oblivious to the existential crisis occurring in its wake. "Ethan," Anaya said carefully, "is this normal for your species?" He finally looked up from his work, meeting her gaze fully. His expression was kind, patient, with just a hint of amusement. "Pretty much. I mean, I work out a bit, but any human could have done that. It's just a desk." "Just a desk. Just 187 kilograms. Just a casual demonstration of strength that would be considered superhuman by 70% of the galactic community." Anaya watched as Ethan returned to his gravitational analysis. His powerful body relaxed in a chair that was probably painfully inadequate for someone evolved under such crushing pressure. She thought about all the other humans aboard the Celestial Harmony, walking through their days, not realizing that every step they took was an act of casual superhuman ability. The Valari had a saying: "To understand a species, observe what they consider ordinary." MX-7 rolled past again, its cleaning protocols complete. Somewhere in the distance, another human was probably doing something equally impossible with equal nonchalance. Anaya's skin settled into a thoughtful silver. She had 3 more cycles on this assignment. Suddenly, she suspected she had barely scratched the surface of understanding humanity. "Hey, Anaya," Ethan called out, not looking away from his holograms. "Could you check the thermal readings on Junction 12? I'm seeing something weird." "Of course," she responded automatically, her manipulator arms already moving toward her console. Just another ordinary day aboard a human vessel. Just ordinary.